Are you ready for it?
Good day, everybody. Are you all familiar with the music of Taylor Swift, Adele, or Ed Sheeran? Why am I asking you this? Because these artists are actually part of Forbes magazine's 100 richest celebrities of 2016. And do you ever wonder why all of our favorite singers are living the good life? Well, it's because of us. While we listen to their music, we're actually feeding them more coins to spend. Music lovers would often claim and say, I cannot live without music. Good enough. But that term actually has a much more crucial meaning when it comes to our favorite singers and musicians. Even in very subtle ways of opening our Spotify accounts and picking a song to listen to, in purchasing digital albums from the iTunes stores, or even if you still persist to hold a physical copy of their works and buy them from actual music stalls, you are making the living of your favorite artist very much possible. To gain more perspective regarding the topic, these following statistics are really need to knows. Do you know that the current earning of the global music industry is estimated to be around 47.5 billion US dollars according to Romero with the research he made this year, enough to support the livelihood of a million musicians. And the number of Spotify users, which is 140 million users, have spent 1.7 billion hours since the creation of Spotify itself listening to the music from the app. Now, the two manners wherein the circulation of money could run from the general public to the musical business is in purchasing or in streaming. Once we buy music either physically or, or through music stores or through digitally from iTunes and etc., the coins or money we pay actually goes through a lot of filtration before it lands to the hands of our supported artists, depending on their actual genres. Now, there are two genres: independent artists and signed artists. Independent and unsigned artists are those who aren't under a specific label and support their own works without any help, and they earn more percentage revenue. According to Dredge and McCandless, the only kind of artist that shall receive the 60 to 100% of payment for his or her work would be the unsigned and independent artists. Though the problem for independent artists is that they would find a lot of trouble for promoting their album since they do not have a label platform. Now, unlike signed artists under a label, they earn in lesser percentage from their music revenues. To cut out 100% of a person towards a signed artist is to slice it in three parts to the distributors, label, and the singers themselves. And usually only 23% of the total earning could be given to the artist. However, artists under a certain contract sells more copies of their works than indie artists since they are aided in promoting their albums through many platforms. For example, we can cite one of the works of one of the world's most famous indie hip hop rappers, which is Childish Gambino's Awaken My Love, which spawned popular singles such as Redbone and has currently sold 500,000 copies in the US, earning it a gold certification from the RIAA. Since he is selling his album for $5.99 or around 299 pesos, multiplied to 500,000 copies, he could earn around $2,995,000 or around 153 million pesos in whole. But since he has a distributor, he only earns 70% of the total sales, which is around $898,500 or around 46 million pesos from those half a million copies. Now, an example of signed artist would be Adele. A perfect example of the best-selling album of the decade, which is Adele's 21, which has sold over 35 million copies worldwide under the label Excel Recordings, because the album is being sold for also an average of $5.99 or 299 in Philippine peso. The 100% revenue of the album is estimated to be around $209,650,000 or around 10,465 million pesos, but only 23% would be Adele's earnings from the album, which is around $48,219,615 or $2,406,950 pesos, which is a huge amount of money in musician terms since Adele is deemed to be the richest English musician. But ever since the rise of streaming applications such as Spotify and etc., the total revenue of artists have become lesser and lesser than that of purchase methods. Much more, distributions or royalties or payments in streaming services are divided into much more aspects such as to the advertisers, composers, producers, labels, artists, and even to the streaming service themselves. And Spotify's payout range to artists encompasses to just over $0.006 to $0.0084 per stream or play of a song, which is equivalent to 0.31 to 0.43 cents. For example, we can get the second most streamed song in Spotify, which is Ed Sheeran's Shape of You, which had garnered over 1,261,000,000 plays. And according to this, Ed Sheeran earned nearly $7,566,000 to $10,592,400, or around half a billion pesos after all these subscriptions. Now, even though the streaming industry appears very gracious to big international artists, revenues of local artists have suffered mostly from this service. OPM artists tend to struggle with poor amount of song plays due to the westernization of pop culture taste amongst many Filipinos, especially the millennials. Whilst Western artists are earning millions of plays from many of our countrymen, our local singers can earn very few. An example is the indie band Autotelic, with their most played song in Spotify, Laura, with 1,200,000 listens. They have only earned $7,200 or 367,200 pesos for the last 2 years. It's still very evident that the business of music has been quite unfair to the needs of many artists. Purchase medium of music have been referred by more artists themselves to ensure a fair revenue distribution between the artist and distributor. A prominent movement against streaming services is Taylor Swift's action of her discography removal from all streaming services. According to Engel, in 2014, Taylor Swift thinks the use of Spotify doesn't value her art and does not make sure that people are paying enough money for it. But she later put back all her works in streaming services as a gift to her fans in 2017. And westernization actually produces the benefit of foreign artists more in their businesses than local Filipino artists. Because the tastes of millennials and centennials affect the regulation of the industry nowadays, the choice of music is crucial to the musicians who profit out of it, especially OPM artists who don't have big platforms like Western artists have. Since music is also a business in general, one should lend his ears to those who actually embodies talent and hard work more than mediocrity. And shall always remember the crucial circulation of money we are actually triggering as listeners, since our 2 ears could sell one musician's future. That's all, and thank you.